first down. Gone. Oh, he's going to air it out right away. And got his man complete. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. An excellent gain, 35 yards.
First down. First and 10 at the 40-yard line.
180.
Get in the weight room. Get in the weight room.
Hey, Shell.
Back to throw. Gone. It's hauled in by Brandon Cooks. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. Add the gain here to the previous play, and it's better than 40 yards total.
First and 10.
So first and 10 now from the 30.
Right, 54. And here we go.
To throw is gone. This will be caught by Brown. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a first down again.
First down. First and 10 at the 14-yard line.
Opening minute, and already a trip to the red zone. It's first and 10 at the 14.
Super.
Again, gone. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
So now second and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
Hold on. Check.
To the air again. Gone. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. With a sack, it's Ziggy Ansah. Well, these sacks are really piling up. Last week, it was a half-dozen sacks. And here's one on the opening drive.
And it has the potential to be what we call a gap, a game-altering play. Because, let's face it, you just mentioned 6 sacks last week. Now, if you're an offense and you saw that on tape, you got to think to yourself, maybe I bring people in, keep them in, and try and protect my quarterback. It didn't work on that play.
They'll get 11, but it'll still lead to a fourth down.
Well, that's just simply not right. To make that kind of a catch, that spectacular, and not get a first down out of it.
I guess he can put it on his personal highlight reel, however.
Yeah, he'll get the catch, he'll get the yardage, but he doesn't get what he really wants.
On fourth down, gone. And he's going to go down. Sacked right around the 17. Credit the sack to Shaquem Griffin. Well, trying to be bold on the opening drive of the game, but that effort, it proves futile.
How many times have we talked with coaches where they've talked about taking the emotion out of their decision-making? I think that opening drive, if he didn't have it in his head to go for it before, I think that keyed into it. They were doing so well, and he decided to really...
And now look at him go. And he takes it all the way down to the 32. A big play that time for the Seahawks. Give him 52 yards on the ground. So how about this for a change in field position? From inside the 10, here's first down on the other side of the field. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. First down, Seattle, 16 yards the gain there. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary, figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
Zebra.
Come up the ball. Undercut.
On second down, it's Washington. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives them a first and goal.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
They'll run for it with Lynch. And the D not yielding much there. He's only going to get a yard to about the 2.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive, and like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and goal. And this will result in him losing yardage back to the 3. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. Trying to pound it in with Washington. No gain on the play that time, so a big stop, and it's going to leave him with a 4th and goal. Defense didn't budge on 3rd down. Now what are we going to see on 4th?
We're soon to find out, but does this feel like old school football or what?
Oh, yeah.
This is an old-fashioned goal line stand. I know what I would call on offense. I would go for it. And I want some type of a play where my quarterback has a chance to run it or throw it. I don't just want one static play.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And on the last drive, they were in field goal range. They just opted not to kick it, didn't get it. How does that change the mentality this go-around?
I don't think it changes much for the head coach because this is what he preaches all the time. Attack at all times in any spot on the field, and he likes touchdowns, not field goals. Now, your field goal kicker, you've got to make sure you nurse him through and say, okay, don't worry about it. When we need you, you've got to be ready to go. And the team, of course, loves to see points on the board, so let's see if it changes a little bit if they're in the same spot again.
Yeah, we'll see what the decision is here if they get to that spot. Here's Gall. Looking for Cooks, and it's intercepted. Trey Flowers picks it, and they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line.
Quick, 380. 26 left.
After the interception, here's Wilson. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by John Johnson. And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
After the interception, here's Goff. And it's caught. Touchdown. Marquise Brown with touchdown number 12 on the year. And his guys have taken the lead. Well, that didn't take long. Oh, this is blocked. And the Seahawks have it. He's got the lane, and there he goes. The 40, past the 20, 10, 5, and he takes it the distance across the goal line for 2 points. So after the block PAT, they're ready to kick this one off. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Seahawks take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And last time, 1-play interception, so this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling, because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people would think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Forcing completion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in the expected passing situation.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Nickel Roby-Coleman. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. 3rd down, passing down. They throw the extra defensive back in there for a nickel package, and it worked out.
And it's not anything that you would think is just great strategy. It's just that when you have 5 defensive backs on the field and an obvious passing down, it's a lot tougher to complete a pass. And on that play, they completed it just to the wrong team, and it cost them 6 points.
Bailey got the extra point, and the lead is up to 8. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. Had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you've got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. First down, Seattle on a pickup of 13. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level, because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
And he'll only get a yard, maybe 2, up to the 46.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can. Run through. Didn't happen on that play.
So after the penalty, here's 2nd and 3. Washington now out of the gun. They got 2 of the 3 they needed there. Leaves them with 3rd and just a yard.
If they're going to get a first down out of this, they're going to have to earn it because there's been tough going in the interior there. And here we are on 3rd and 1. Be prepared. Brace yourself. Going to be some contact going on.
380.
Mike 58, right there. Here we go. Set. Go 14. Cut.
On 3rd and 1, Wilson. Open man is Gordon, complete. 20. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Josh Gordon, his 2nd touchdown on the season, as his guys have cut the lead down to 2. And that is the definition of yards after catch. They go short on the pass, and the receiver does the rest.
Seems so harmless, doesn't it? To throw it underneath, a short pass like that. But boy, it gets dangerous in the hands of the right receiver as he makes a move and takes it the distance.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Here we go.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive.
Watch the screen. Under 10. Under 10. 10.
They'll start out on the ground with Gurley. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. A play fake to Gurley. Now gone. That's caught by his tight end, Gerald Everett.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Michael Kendricks coming in to drop him. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
Now it's Lockett. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And things are starting to move in the right direction. They get the touchdown last drive, then their defense gets them the football back. Yeah, now they have a chance to get the lead if they can put something together here. I'm eager to see how they decide to do it. They want to be methodical, or do they want to take the big strike and go after it right now?
1st down, Seattle.
Shoot 15. Guys, 4 down. Block that.
Now Wilson on 1st down. He'll find Metcalf. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Russell Wilson with 2 first-half touchdown passes. And the Seahawks are going to retake the lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And now with still more than a minute to go in what's been a tight game, you figure we'll try to see them move the ball downfield.
And remember, they get the kickoff to start the second half, so this is a golden opportunity for them to go down there and put up a couple of sixes back-to-back. What a momentum swing that would be.
Yeah, you might be able to get a 2-for-1 without ever even giving up the football. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick 1st down. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime.
Value 3.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Goff. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Short throw, pick 6 right there. Those linebackers, they love when those short throws come and those eyes get real wide, don't they?
How about the anticipation on the play? Reading, reacting, and then the ability to catch the football and take it in the opposite direction.
Myers connects on the PAT, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Well, look at the clock here. You're inside of a minute. First half hasn't gone that well for you. How are you going to play this drive?
Well, I've been told by my coaches previously that the intelligent approach, go ahead and run out the clock and start over. Don't make any more mistakes. But there's also something to understanding that you get this last drive here. You get the ball to start the second half.
And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Trey Flowers picks it, and he'll bring this one back to the 29. That late in the clock, second quarter, why not just run it a time or two and get it into the locker room?
What you're saying makes absolutely perfect sense. Run it and get out of there. But I'm just wondering if the pressure of today's NFL and the high-powered offenses that you're facing may force them into saying, let's try and get some more points.
A little bit of daylight on that first down run sets him up nicely. 8 yards on the carry. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number one. Eight yards the gain on that last run. Here's second and a couple.
26, Mike.
Here's Wilson to throw. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. Wilson and the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's third and long here. Running it, Washington. And an alley to run. And he will not make it to that imaginary yellow line as they get him to the ground at about the 23. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. He hit his first, this one from 40 yards out. And Myers able to knock it through. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As it's time now to send you back stateside to Orlando, Florida, and check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, the kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. On first and 10, it's Wilson. Being chased out left. This one into the hands of Metcalf. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be second and 9. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a third and about 4. And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. Now Wilson. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to fourth down.
You're down 2 touchdowns. You just know defensively you absolutely have to come up with a big play. That nearly was one right there.
Looked over at the sideline immediately after the drop and just saw the dejection. They felt it. They thought he had it. Unfortunately, couldn't come up with it. They'll indeed go for it with Wilson. That's to his running back, complete. And unable to break away, they stop him a few yards shy. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out, and the ball will go over on downs on the short side of the field. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. He's going to take a shot right away for the end zone. And it'll be intercepted. Trey Flowers picks it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the second week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Now Washington. And he'll get only a couple up to the 22.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
Well. 41 Mike, right here. Let's go, team.
On 3rd down, Wilson going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And that is incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Now here's Michael Dixon. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. With it is Brown. A great return there of 22 yards. And that will come the offense as they take over. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. The tackle there by Quandre Diggs.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Again they run with Gurley. And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
57's the Mike. 57's the Mike.
4 down.
Push him back. Push him back.
And now here is another interception. Picked off near the 42. And a huge return as he'll take this one all the way down inside the 30-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
And he'll get about 4 as he's brought down at the 24.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. On 3rd down, here's Washington. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up the 4th down.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
Myers' kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So 3 field goals that he's hit now. This last one helps him stretch out the lead.
He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said to us. We want to end every possession with a kick, right? For them, it's either extra point, field goal, or at worst, a punt. In this case, it's been 3s.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play.
Brandon Cooks, the 20, 10, and all the way touchdown. Brandon Cooks, 82 yards. And his guys are able to cut into that deficit. Well, if they're going to make a game of this in the second half, they need a few big plays to go their way. That's one.
And the way to get it done is to also conserve time. So to your point, that big play right there, now you're not moving the ball downfield, taking time off the clock. You're leaving yourself a better avenue to continue to try and make a comeback.
And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Not today, you are. Not today.
From the shotgun, Wilson. Flush to his right. He's going to take off with it. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a 3rd down situation. We're off to the 4th quarter here in Week 15. Happy holidays to all. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Seahawks on 3rd down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. From the gun, it's Wilson. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Critical play in this football game because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
Now Brown. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And last time the formula was pretty simple. 1-play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, 1-play drive's exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was fairly easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
Yeah, we'll see if it's that easy here.
First and 10 at the 34-yard.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. First carry for James Conner. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. Now on 2nd down, this is Gurley. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down. Now, yes, a 2-possession game, but a good chunk of time on the clock, so they have the ability still there to run it on 2nd and short, but maybe they need to pick it up a bit.
You're right. They did pick up the 1st down there, but as you mentioned, they have to pick up the pace now because it's a 2-possession game. They've got to get there twice to make sure they have a chance to win.
Gurley again here on 1st down. And he's taken down after a gain of 3 as they move it from the 22 to the 19.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. Here comes carry number 10 for Gurley. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go.
I like the call. Inside the red zone, running the toss. Why? They want to get to the edges. They want to see if guys who don't normally make a lot of tackles are willing to actually do that. That usually means the guy's in the cornerback position.
from the gun on third down. Goff. Snead's got it. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's fourth down.
Value one.
57's run. Come on.
Here we go on fourth. Goff. This is caught. It's close. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on fourth down. Felt compelled to go for it there on fourth down, trailing in the fourth quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a fourth down call. Doesn't matter the distance. You stop to get it done, as you noted, and they did.
And he gets halfway there down to the 1-yard line. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up second and goal. They'll try and push it in with Gurley. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. A second down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
Hold on.
Check 52.
Third and goal, Gurley. I don't think Gurley got there. Looks like the defense held him back. So it's our home team here in possession of the football as we come back. They're looking at a 4th and goal here as they search for a late score. They go ahead and snap it. Gone. And no, it's incomplete. They're turned away on 4th and goal. And the Seahawks able to come up with a goal line stand. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but through an opening, and there he goes. He's at the 40, past the 20, 10, and all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. DeAndre Washington. 97 yards. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. So what was already a game to remember becomes even more so as that touchdown run, a lengthy one, takes him over 200 yards now for the game.
And I love the fact that to get over 200, it took a pretty good sprint, didn't it? I mean, a lot of times you get 1 or 2 yards and oh, he's over 200 yards. But that really put an exclamation point on the game he's having. Fantastic. A lot of fun to watch.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
First down and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. 16 yards, a first down. So on the heels of the run by Todd Gurley, another 1st and 10. Now they try the right side here. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
How about his performance last week? Over 200 yards. I think his decisiveness. One cut, and he goes. That's what's really made him pile up the yardage.
And the yardage he piled up last week, easily honored with NFC Offensive Player of the Week.
I would have voted for him.
Check 9, check 9.
They go play action with Gurley. Now gone. And that going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3.
Hey, Haywood.
All right, Tila.
Out of the gun, gone. He's going to let it fly. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. From the gun, here's Goff. And an alley to run. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a 1st down. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Here's Gurley. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Charles, we saw a lot of points go up in this one. Certainly defensively, stuff that they can look at on film, don't you think?
No doubt about it. And they've got to go back and check where the errors are, how they're going to fix them, and continue to get better at what they do. But they also need a little adjustment with their confidence. To give up that many points, even if you win a game, that can hurt you.
So for the Seahawks, it's a 10th win of the year now as they move to 10-4. And now it's off to Heathrow as they get set to fly back to the U.S. in a couple hours. Meanwhile, for the home team here, they'll drop to 10-4 on the year. And they'll try to get back on track next week as they head up to Orchard Park to take on the Buffalo Bills. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.